Casting live ngara Officer President ngara immune sa all time kada mga mesa oran sa press conference ra President Suran Whips Junior ma cabinet ringi ma all time kada open ra press conference President ra ba ang nungu mga kita Mrs. Regina Sobris ra 24/7 prayer ministry ra Koror Evangelical Church. Sobris
Mo yung tingin natin sa nga lira apostol, la trim ewi del klolbiong la luma ewang malum eim malum eyay. Mulwasi, adios ngigel bilebia balulaat, maigel bekkal ngara alsil. Ingi aruba karayang at mautom, mandiya kalakyer arulal el templo. Direk kaldiya kangaral lauspe, Aringil sa pae del kut makli el girel. Eleng bay ngia o masterir arbek la aklangar matarir mabek al tokoy. Ngia uul akadog telil mingi taktik yang aring aklangar rekif. Abadolulu. Malungil tutal mergawe rubak kal Dios sergamam. Kamaran masaw lertial te al. El sepaamlom ko dong orang claim el kaldib el aver belaw el maamasada el toko erubak el nyamaklo abal gulgil el abluma magimral el mosyo taer gawe erubak el Jesus el medlong olira al mga taklela balur belar el altutaw malbol sa bair el maral mo maloma sarandir e voltarandir mataw doswir el dakal el smouth at ako el gire la balumam. Luba ka diolingit terkaw, makamo amola paredir. E mga tiga igartilo ya kaklisi ele daw ring rakaw. Rengaw ang gel madangay gel moklung yolam. Mamngay gel moklung yolam al masterir ang mga takla la balumam. Malbol sa baire Dios el gutmok al morsel gotulungil basul kirang. E gel dia kalungil erubak. Obom ngail oroid ngarang klela Jesus Kristus. Rubak kal Dios, kamaral masaul, elo reng sang lungo amrelal tutaw, magiyodar sang lungo amro kulobang kleme Jesus. Amen.
Amen. President
Kamaram sulang Mrs. Subaris ra ano maulakat krela tutaw. Pero kalung tiat tel botosus ra ibudul maraklay nabugul belaw bilong may raklay masil belaw President ra Senate el Hokons Paules marugul senators Speaker Anastasio marugul delegates Chief Justice Ngiray Galaw marugul justices Governors Speakers Laytor sa Rabek Kalbulu to ubet sil susurgid el mora bekla other belaw nangarablo ng ayangan el mora hotcharigi mangara ikrelablu berara el alsils kida kontrolen so de mga sula Dios Mrs. Subris kida hablo longar omrael atara hablo tobra uldoso ase sel bol temegal mamasra skogi galeg blak mo gawid bola kalse gal mrael but so far kada mga ngar omrael tal bod test kada negative masra skogi memang siya mal mol maldi continue igal program lagi dan berulang ara alir. Dari kali kita tempat ngasulah Dios ra abalwad lu kumara ase kada uktora covid kada ase dro ase namor rulet. Kita namo se dar bangala togol kita ara alir dar ablu. Dari kali kita ruk mulu lu ligir tegel baby ra sali dar igal baby ra ablu. Clearance ra sali gara nauru lu ase present tamadal se elmelen dari kamlo ya covid ra ablu rir. Tu mga albangaring rel all time. Di kadamaral di mereng asuler Dios raklang al tangat dal bes kita berwadra blur belau continue nam aliur git kita amlo di bus el tem nombre kal sana tal Sunday of course at the normal press conference di gumra lo ase gum adire kal apto agramil gire la umrolam ma minister lo ase gimlor gire ngara gimi rule dimla kal private trip rela ngukle government trip le government tamle hara undi kida of course albang artial tora oceans el maran me kida amal molma the theme together our oceans is about our ocean, our people, and our prosperity. Aklo tutrel dungur saya gida mamra swal wasetial el debela blur belao. Aklo ngia kloklel belao gida osperi. El matmok la arbek la adar belao. Ngira del mdangli segi del value ringi momdu los peri lo masar terstama terstal adar belao. Agumra lo hace ul de suira adra house ul tebde alla momesra a Tora Marine Sanctuary armur tersegi dul dasu magarangi dosabak le dongot mokra aklangara adar belao. Tara a message sera do durar seli dengara bluram regel kida adek dasal malaswaringi di degal gire langi dil adar belao lo bai la bai maral wase ulgu makni gel gire la adar belao mesa value ra aklangaringi mesel wase adrang akil akaltmok maklangaringi akaltmok la tuli seleng kida sel dungur tial debet engari agar reger mesoi sebra blur belao الدولاب المطموق لادنا أكتر أبيك لأدرا أبيك السيلز وذن تورا سكول تورا غورا لا مينستري إدوكيشن أم لنا جوا سي president أم لنا أسكرا مع مينستري فاينانس تيجي situation لا تورا سكول كده أم لقى ترى يوسان أنغري كده تيان نمري غرق الأرق لا 10% مري غريد أغوت موك لا يل النار اللي تورا سكول وذن نقال سنسي أيها قدم وقت قدم غرق. How do I make the budget mo endrayin? A Ministry of Justice sa nga song sa Buddhist nang alaw ng kalharar Buddhist. A Ministry Herda faces the same issues. Eleng ay garogul ministries had to take a 10% cut. Mang umda sa ulda sura other house amal lagataklo kasi gira dro sigaw do el mitay obligations rigid. So umralo kasi Tora Marine Sanctuary mungo to cloud to tren ulang maral isel ablur belao Tora Marine Sanctuary ulang kata nama mengalia value tiagi del debet Marine Sanctuary magada omrole del morablur amregela ora wal build wal kada mai galul da solo da ke osigra ungira el gida sedel loyakni e balance ra Tora production ma protection mang umrole del morablur amregel amlo mitter tirgel nomdol taset partners rigel ratora a conservation mang malle to meeting the meet virtually and in person the result tra meeting agunda our partners rigel amlo understand lo say ngira del balance ra tora a production ma protection e gira del ngaria a plan ergi del long term el meet those goals. One of the things that we have learned over the past year tora igal maklol areas ra conservation was el ngara agiribas amna mosolil turudileng Consider as Tora Marine deka durability, deka long-term plan really tiaklalo mo sustainable provide income mo rabalu marat. Mangulgi waigi the ministry da really a business plan. It will present in Mortigal partners was said this is what we need to do. Really tial yamal cloud to trail the bed el mo sedel mangarangi at the same time produce raungil teal magarul el merak langara adar belao mang akpay masate na minister mong di mo update rigidra business plan and then maybe after that we can have question and answers sure
Sulang president mil total mera baklad presidenta le mandate tra minister kwasing tagi la el pending ra olvil waseng diakal sawadal di opener tiarrogir kirel ngani ngil el teletelel kadamo omesel wasema bodore ertia kadamre ngil wangarang maklung yal mera belur belau amral sebe edel balancer seguir el socio-economic benefit del mera adre belau masel protection ra biodiversity gidar adre belau do donil masem mal close tutlel mera gidar adre belau matial de bela belulad magi blue el kit maklia gi mam goderin maseng blue economy business plan ya moktegar siak waseng Giredel transition from 80% to 100% managed ocean with some protection say guided by science-based marine spatial planning. Say gora guidance say gidel blue economy business plan el gimo speringi emot mokra rural gomama umral quasi gidel mor say gidel en سبقات المرأة realize herself ملا وقول يقدم لهم موسم را 80% را دبلا بلور بلاو يقدم لهم موسم رجيل قاسي ذا أسمري إذا مكسير كمسا يجيل كلون ياو للسبقات المرأة تيال دبلا بلاو first and foremost هر أدر بلاو realize يجيل الكلون ياو مغرا يجيل كلون ياو للجيدا سبقات realize غاني يجيل تغورا revenue ما تغورا contribution المرأة food security Tal business plan el give lam got maklia ederraga osangel. Costeringi angara $34 million. $16 million ra tal $34 million. Amora togora infrastructure. بأس الذق ما بأس aquaculture facility focus ra togora ngila. About $3 million those pairing mamot mokor sel waseng marine spatial planning say sel process el dom daseng inclusive el lom sodel ma otter kaklelak mo say gidar adar belaw ngraswat tel de beda bol dorungil gerela amoklang aragid ma mo support ra geisara blur belaw mo motor kakli say gid say gid el planning process amo help per gid navigator mo kwase mado re ergi mo ngara teletelel angara tal million a dos perin waseng selgora regional approach tial doruringil quasi a do marak quasi adreli tial doruringil ablur belau ang sab el direga ngani impacting across the Pacific masel moktegra conservation el kida swad el lodersil morablul ad amran moklo dial dil kuktil al banglet kida ad belam di do asega di kidel mruringi kada mruringi kida ma restra adra Pacific mo close impact ringi another millionaire say gid $34 million a dos pairing mo sa da gel waseng innovative business models sel do mesra togor omangeth sel concern gid ak mo setya dominated by foreign business ngaringa kombali gid ra bofi kadamner ko sa Jackson ngira ngas mo ora kombali ringi mo sel ngara business arrangement sa edel kora encourage tir mo sois bar alsel magida wado aseng kadwa klol benefit sel revenue generator ngal ngigla kada model kwasa value ra a yellowfin mabik al no el sel longura sashimi market ra siabal ano link sa edel ngara 27 to $30 million kida malanga ngara $2 million kada magare mora point la se ablur vela on rangal ngigla sel magare all the way mora siapal mangaria igel profit el dollar al sel value chain rangal togor omeged dire ganania kwase kada magara sab edel explore insurance concept el mora togor tourism masel bonia igel البورا بلو الأذل ممكن غير أمراء المي إن أنا يجي الإنشورانس السبب إذا الجوك مال الأوفست أجل مو revenue loss الجيدر أتقرأ tourism أجي بير business models الدقرة أومس يسلودو ذا مؤسس الوسي مغرى سبب إذا الestablish أجي التلتلل business approach Esil mo mulbong mo urungli sel $34.8 million ang aringil $7.8 million. Say sel pigoseng lamo gigare omnge dara blur belaw. Aringa 8,000 long line vessel days el dia kadotraw. For the last 3 years, ay gaya days el belaw dia kadotraw worth $1.01 million. In the past, belaw sel lotray gay ang sabel export almost 2,000 metric tons el ngigla. El worth nga $800,000 el export tax. Sel kumbalin na el belaw PITI. Estimate waseng aigel tax al harar adalo rior maalu aigel tlang la siobar til operator blur belaw alangara $700,000. Masel do the care segi ding mo $2.6 million. Komla rinang sama mersera adangara press conference House of Delegates el masada tal PNMS yagi luspera number el 1.8. Sedimlaan includer segi el guk number asel tax el harar nga PITR di el sel belaw. Siya giblom deng o the care say mo 2.6 million dollars. Say agi mo luspe ringil business plan and mga other tigal partners el wasing. In order to make this Palau National Marine Sanctuary durable, so it generate revenue manage itself mendial year in year out edolingit tawdo dara krevelal kwasi mo manage tal sanctuary etiagi da plan el mama o mesengil kwasi adrali tiang en klo aklungyal el realize ringar other velaw klo aklungyal el mora togora conservation durable mong agimlon mga other team matumlo masa selguk vision el president o mesengil gira la 100% sustainable ocean management tra blur belaw emlo ngel mlo support tra kasi tomorrow lo bangela blur belaw el fundraise implement tagi el $34 million plan over the next 3 years. It partial bang question so edlong kumsulang.
Nasa dali mo katakril wase sel 2.6 million awal arar sel omge. Mamle proposal al mortiro wase al sumom arar se of course ang dekada ngare kom lam arar se. Seng asel better lam so that se.
Why say
Conservation investor.
Kadagora ultra ngir kwase ngarinya sel ngara conservation tangani tiga se impact investor. Dakal soril dim sakran tabelu kwase dim multiang tawasya agi muskami tial ludaw langari impact ringi magi investor tial kumi amruri. Tokongel kwase agi mo maudaw dam sa government traveler belaw. Losses will mar alsa national treasury so in dakal mail in the form of rent. Mail mo replacer sa igi del revenue. Digel days lang adore dedicar sa edel ultra for the next 3 years. Mong essentially o mangeda malmol melding aring alsel luil basent so far ang ara 2,700 days el bofima blura siya lamar ang ara elsel 20%. Gida eretal local basent mendia o mangeda ringi for the next 3 years. Eruli seguid el marine special plan el modong il kwasem melang abodong simra engra ulmagdamang simra engargel ewang klungel el balance seguid el waseng girel el support tra togor omnged el support tra togor conservation el alta magdamnel wasya 20% legal enough financially omnged angari Mlaria assessment tra FFL Bureau of Marine Resource den SK FFL 2017 rulia assessment tra kasi kamo mesel wasya el seltal 20% ang sabel ngaria omangeth etomlok mong sabel ending yakal financially ang sabel ulo mo kada mlemdel wasya by 2020 ya PIT amoto verbela leng yakal sabel ngarai financially survive ra kuk klungela 20% unless atamora era high seas. Kuk posisyon el kuk kimo menari el altama wase high seas 60% ra devela velulath egelo menge dengi mal unsustainable. May mal klo impact ringil mora atqol kita swada el motmok ringi ma ul man swada adal vera era al sela deved len sued el controller tir. May impact ringil mora conservation aungil. Mung se agora balance el kita o mesenir kwasi oin swada tora conservation menggire de lo se pera era al sela devel velau mal sebab lo mesel kami kim control o melilangil kami amruvringi. Ako spera agora veo tel tol kwaseng ngwad agora wase oyak ti clean rama ori rablik di sek prara ndi mila kumride. Girel doru ringin ablit ma doru ringin abla dio sisiv. Si ako kimo menaringil kwaseng conservation el gire del el ngani emor 100% el sustainable ocean management to.
Ako mas ka question. I'm sure I'm fair.
I guess that question on the clarification el basis el presentation ng minister mang ma-understanding say kung la presenta tal vez el plan el mora partners el osigra dori 8 million dori 4.8 million el momurura 100% management plan ra tabelbelaw. Es within the 3 years time. In the meantime, como si gararada el mohara or sel seguir el wall loss el sustain el time el 2.6 million for the next 3 years. Mang balgula say PNMS as it is now will remain as long as you find that Gaydel impact investor until the plan is complete within the 3 years. That's what you're saying.
Oya, sebenarnya lo ay selo asya tirgel givle modo tira kamit el algo servelau emla kamit 10.8 million el 7.8 million ringia amor seguido el replace agel revenue ya 3 million ako asya kadamo marur seguido el marine special planning ako asya magarabod open ra 80%. So in the meantime sell 100% ocean management abulgula ako asya currently going forward in the next 3 years o mga dadingan al sel alu ilbasen. Egito o meser sel kwasya ngara al sel tel 80% egito makarani. Base ra sel marine special planning podra dawat makli.
I think ataradul mga urtil girela so there needs to be some experimentation. Idam nga sa Bofi, ma Jackson both. Amaring tira dingara aircell vital side. Tidrigalonito sen sa amlang area East Coast. So gira del regal mo adaptable o mesro se. So how can they do that? And that requires some experimentation and help till develop till local fishing industry bela. The other bela owner ni everyone ni segida close to trend. So one thing that needs to change is the law the way it is now. We need to move to 100% managed. Deka da set ringi basen 20%, deka percentage say deka girang ngari. Giral 100% managed and really by controlling the days, you're controlling the amount of fishing you're doing. And through marine spatial planning, you make sure again most of the important areas are protected. I see.
Good morning. Mr. President, Minister, you mentioned about partners. So I am, the partners are international partners. So what about the partners locally? I mean, those who are opposing the reopening of the PNMS as have been seen in the public hearing are local partners. Are they also not part of this discussion and dialogue? Because the committee report of the House of Delegates did not mention anything about what the concerns of those who are local experts the NGOs in Palau.
So, can you give me some of their concerns that were raised that specifically? Yeah.
One of the
Yeah. Go ahead.
One of the concerns, of course, is that it will be more economically viable if the marine sanctuary is stays as it is, and at the same time, also the Palau's standing internationally about being an advocate of climate change, marine protected areas.
And that's based on some kind of report, or where did they come up with that study?
Okay.
I'm trying to understand where that came from. Is that just a feeling, or is it actually a report? Because reports that have come out, for example, are by the Center for Ocean Solutions from Stanford, and they tell us, for example, 40% of the fish will move because of climate change, right? They also tell us that because of our policies, we're putting more pressure on the reefs. So no matter what, we have to look at it holistically and come up with a plan that is durable, but yet protects what's most important. So really, what we were able to talk to our partners with, because the reality is there is no money coming in, right? The 2.6 million that we talked about is revenue that the government has lost. That revenue, where does it go? It goes to fund schools. It goes to fund Ministry of Justice. It goes to fund healthcare. It goes to fund state governments. So our partners have all agreed that we need to come up with a durable plan. In the meantime, what they're providing is funding to make sure that that loss to the government is covered through taking care of that opportunity that we would have had to sell it to somebody else. So that's the partnership. So I think at the end of the day, everybody's goals are met, right? Because there's still no fishing because they bought all the days, right? So the goal to protect sanctuary is there, correct? But we also have a long-term plan, which is beyond just doing that. Let's do scientific research and make sure that the decisions we're making are the best. We may come out after the study that we should have Palau 100% closed to any kind of fishing, because this is the nursery and this is the most important place in the world to protect. That could be the result a reporter yet. But based on science, that's what we need to be able to do, not just based on an arbitrary number. And I think one of the challenges we have is we have 20% over there. Why did we designate that 20%? Was it because that's the place that we don't need to protect? Or is it because we're trying to please somebody, right? So we really want to do a marine spatial plan, and that's what we've asked for, is basically you're buying time to do a proper assessment and to come up with a proper plan that when you make those decisions, they're based on science and not on some arbitrary number. And that's, I think, what we've been able to discuss, not only with our partners there, but with the OEK, to make sure that we have a plan that everybody can work together on. And most importantly, as one of the senators said yesterday, so the money that's coming, can we make sure some of it goes to schools? Well, the difference with all the money that we were getting before, for example, we get almost $10 million a year if you add up all those for enforcement, correct? There's all kinds, but those programs they're great. They help us on the enforcement and the protection of the REEZ. But it does not go to replace what was lost that went to education, went to healthcare, went to the police station. The plan that we have takes care of all of that. Now we're making sure that everybody is taken care of. Everybody wins. And that we can come up with a more stronger, durable plan where BOFI and these local companies can be stronger, can be part of the onshore activities, that can participate in the the development of the fishing industry, which is, I think, at the end of the day, that's what we want to see. We want Palauans, and that's the beauty of the sanctuary. The sanctuary really was a statement to the world that we own this resource, we decide how it's going to be used, we control it, and the people of Palau must benefit from it. That's the statement of the sanctuary, and that's really what the plan is going forward, is to make sure the people of Palau are first. They are taken care of.
So, Mr. President, you are aware of the online petition signed to stop they call it Save My Sanctuary, to stop the reopening.
I don't know what they're protesting, but anyway, that's just their. It's a bill in the House, right? We came up with a solution. So I don't know if they're opposing the solution or they're opposing something else. What we're doing is providing a solution. So I hope we can all work together to a solution that benefits everyone. And that's really the goal. So I think a lot of times we do petitions or we run around doing things being misinformed. And it's so important that the media gets the information and shares with the public of the direction that we're going. Because ultimately, there is no other goal. I don't think there's any other goal in the House's position or in the Senator's position or the President's. We all want what's best for the people of Palau. That's number one.
Tayo President, o mga Vice President, Marbekla. President, como le mention lo hace nos ito mo our partners, itamla kami ta $10.8 million. Tira partners, tira what partners.
Niatero NCO based CRL tia or mainly of indigenous communities. Maringi Blue Nature Alliance. Blue Nature Alliance actually ang alliance Conservation International MAPU. Itirge real support 100% ocean management. Maria Conservation International, mga the Nature Conservancy. Dire ka nga imol private individual. Dire ka mga kamit tawdo el mora tegi del plan. Tora lang tamla kamit 10.8.
So le ministere a question na kasi tirgadi del partners because it tiagi del lulda solo hace membo do nga de itial marun sa swarin morsel si bedel lo sis pa bibira auto ni kada tilob del mosiga tira ngilo auto sa mun miskit.
So Sera October 2021, President Miltabi Gimam Godonil Kumasing Gabegal Task Force. Mlara Task Force Mlaria Ministrira Mafe para International Grave Center for Ocean Solution Stanford, Ma Nature Conservancy, Ma Conservation International, Ma Blue Nature Alliance. Amle mokter sel task force akwase tiagi da uldason bla lotovadi House of Delegates kada magara come up with a solution naman dia kada board saygid and go back to 2019. How can we work toward the future? Ma President tagora amlo melengara tingela former President Ramosar kwase we need to preserve the best. Improve our restra yel gukiredel gutmok rulitian mo durable lula PNMS tiada first time el boda ngitun tigra lula PNMS from rigor le 2017 ya uigi amlongod il lulias el PPF for alsel 2019
walang mlaring itong buti
el mutul molo 2019 uigi aliluton mo mlo alara export rangigla mo bara 20% ra southeast del mora west. So it's not the first time waseng kada masa agora mongal sang sila la mo kada mari kityan lang mo del wasya ay gel bled anticipate lo asing dil 20% ting dekal sabel ngania financially sustainable telet among the 20%. We're realizing it. Mga damlas lo kasi kada makara dia kadida ititialul malungilul dasura PNMS by build on it. Lebi goseng lorngit yalla kadam lom Michael lo president kadam lom dangalir kwaseng kita sabel mer ertial telet among the ravlur belau. Because House of Delegates am introduce a lot more than the opinion marada ko se tagire del mere eringi lelak e go back to 2019. So tagire el Kim Gilt Makli mama tagire el Gabriel Task Force aoy algora plan going forward. Matamle invite ramam lo se kame me dobora California adul ko se tiam magrada argi magrada siga bebira udu del el address seguir del immediate need year 1 which is kagire del seguir el 2.6 ma $3 million del Rulia Marine Spatial Planning. So velari la vision el basengire del more 100% sustainable ocean management etir offer base kame de gain selo siga udo del el mo implementing. In addition to that habluram ligaram la con el direct support al plan tomlo giril convene donors el modo tiril lo sig additional resources el mo support al ma president tamil nga adura angel assistant secretary of state Monica Medina etamla commit el mo help el support al plan.
So ala koradi mskima table history gida back in September sera dabora UNGA larate level momitra group called Enduring Earth. Enduring Earth tirga gidal NGOs loma sagal large protected areas dildab mabalu. One of the things that they've seen is durable, they don't last. So one of the concepts that they have out there is we need to design them that they last and they're sustainable and they're funding al improve the protecting area. So the term that they use is Project for Permanence. It's a PFP plan. So we've been talking to different donors. Bezos Foundation is one of them. We've talked to Moore Foundation, Packard, and then some other private individuals. And this is our opportunity to show the world that this can work. Because one of the challenges that we see, the change. They want to build a program that's durable, that can really work and sustain and be long term and really ultimately benefit the other. And that's why it's a component of building a local fishery so we want to be able at our oceans to showcase that. And then they want us to be able to carry this in more Lisbon. They want us to be able to work as just not Palau, but share it with Micronesia and ultimately the Pacific. We can have good fishing practices, we can demand the highest standards and still make sure that benefit more and protect the most important areas, and we can all build a better and more sustainable future for all of us. That's the ultimate goal that I think everybody in the conservation community wants to see. Because I'm thinking, there's a lot of challenges out there, and there has to be resources to make sure that these things continue and are sustainable. So, check it out.
Minister, President, tangari Shell Blue Economy Business Plan. Isang kami tulo isang namo mereka kerja kang developer ni all time.
Tagim la develop pagel component lo sing ara swadal momruni Shell Hotel swadal momruni akwase gire the Rulia Marine Spatial Planning process. Odo mesara al salgamangaling 3 years orang sab edel accelerator mong sab edel implementing. suada el develop para sustainable fishing. Agam model kwaseng next generation of fishers. Dakal suada igagi del teletele la omenge del ngani al time klo impact ringira bycats. Ngani kwaseng gire del implementa electronic monitoring system ra igal vessel. Gire del dirigal consider captain ra bycats. Kwaseng suma bilasan omenge dangara imlang ma X number of bycats at tal volto kwaseng kadiga bora diam multirak lagi lungil tele la omngeda iga bebir qura management approach el dirigal el sabed lo mes el dirigal el suad el assess lo se can we get to a time el sabed lo mes lo asen kada allogator aerial ara la morbabelen ara ulmun seguidia aya gida bebir do mes suad el develop para togora aquaculture finfish aquaculture والمغضمرورة بأس facility رجيد الغارة عملاء على فوقوس را تشان كلام قد نام مديرك مسين غانيا مغيل مارجت را تشان كلام را أكواريوم تريد سو هذا الميليسي إرسيجيد التغور أكواريوم تريد سرا كيم لانشر سيل قليدا غار أليدا كامبين را last month هيجيب له أسل وسين غانيا tal الأذل كيم لام دنج إيركوس يجيبهم Morelo Bangel el develop para skills ri ma facility ri en sebel kuku atora trader aquarium el mora next level gida dirigal focus ra tora kuk food security ra chan klam kimo mesria kwasia milk fish amlaria potential ringir velara before covid diga de milaya price ra Taiwan ya ulum la sebel el workload fra Taiwan al may edim langal sal moklo ora langel aula sel mle bait fish sira bala ko mingi da gel bait fish company a dirigal mlath mel alo lara aura Taiwan ngirel value mring laral agi umral wasi adrelli aku facility masu edel produce ra aula en sebel mora bait sebel mora dom gororingin mokoleth Patogas with the produce sebel del export of frail mora Philippines. Philippines anuling sebel di produce 60% ra aigel ngalgel la aul sebel distributor mora shares matamelara Indonesia edirigal mongsong sa Indonesia. Siya potential market del sebel del tap into erulia ara la aul mong affordable mundia kada salmo mring la ara sebel dirigal continue mangar adra ablur belo. Ani segi del gilmom das wasing assess wasing ara gel bebir a business model del expand el support ra ego tourism development ra rural direct support ra develop a more resilient tourism ra abro velo iga part of segi del blue economy business plan.
So when do we expect the final plan to be finished, complete, or to be presented?
A plan na give la present ringil mora president ma olvil. So as far as we're concerned and final, but of course I got plan some adaptive management changes as we implement and learn get change.
So ang sabi kapil be made available for us
Yes.
to okay. So lang. Adi last question lang kung tial may mas critical baby okay, tiyak 100% managed marine. Adel check nga wala masala. Ngani amlam katmok rablu adam lakot maklo osisiul das 100% managed. Alu ba kita kada maakot at matamis ri.
Dirga ma bela wa bol gotol mo tames tial seguido lo hace kada balance ra protection ma production. Esa more attractive approach sa beedel bring others along. Lesel di nga protection of course adobora gal bebira blura pacific malul tuila egana mertira tolo mget tadi ronsa protection emla madakad ado maula kwasi adobora 100% managed final segid el balance ra production ma protection emla mosbed el ado dul kwasi kami medo mesertal wider pacific ma conservation impact el doru ringi a clove egida sabed el continue build a more resilient blue economy.
So le minister maldi follow up. So tiyak dul das when direct ngani abibira blura the Pacific region islands countries el girel galkor omis el girel alum malik terbela wa mlamu mu lo omis el girel
كده ملامو لو مسري next week April 11 ngania gimom godon kwasing Pacific Island Blue Economy Roundtable gibom start el mod adura tiragi del gok Pacific Islander leaders and Mission Oceans Conference lo sa kami do mesa igagi del bebil ra effort el sabe del magalo rural gidel.
I think we can add also, there's 9 other countries that have signed up with the Wait Foundation,
35.
along with marine spatial planning in the Pacific. So the idea is to show, with that and proper management, you can actually, Palau can show the example, it can work. So it will help them and adapt like same policy. That's the ultimate goal. And from there, and say that we're doing our part. I got high seas, we need to take the same action on them. Because 60% is the high seas that anybody fishes and overfishes and does. So we're just a small part, but we need to lead the way and have other people join. So and the rest of the world. So that's our ultimate goal. And I just want to comment that I get a petition, and maybe I'm not terrible, but I'll make it clear what I was trying to say on the petition. I think most importantly, we are looking at there's a problem, how to address it, find solutions. I don't think the petition provides solutions. It's just an opposition. What we're Amlegol or a minister, Timergida, was let's come up with solutions to address the challenges that we have. One, of course, revenue loss. The other one, the fishermen. We want to make sure the fishermen are better off and look at it holistically. So developing the local aquaculture industry, developing onshore facilities to process fish so that we get a higher value in galing. All of those combined put us in a better position long term. That's so Kida said, these are issues, these are challenges that we have. How do we improve upon them and make a better, stronger plan? So, I would ask that the people that signed the petition look at the press conference. And I believe we're all on the same team. Everybody really has the same goal. So, we should welcome petitions. Petitions are good because that's what our government is all about. Coming up with ideas and being free to express how you feel.
Mr. President, based on what you say, I think self-petition maybe reaction and Marcel will build a house again a solution as immediate closing, the immediate opening. The fact that you guys are also looking at other solutions is kind of coming after the fact. So maybe that will address some of those concerns that were raised. I guess it's كم mention الواسع تجد الوضوء del losing it elang al niya mora education nama those pairing in fundra I got shortfall government those were in fact impacted or rather addressed before under the PPEF, as you mentioned. It was put back in sustainable financial planning. The given because of COVID. Now you're looking at a much different solution to, or rather more of an upgrade. Would you say, what you're doing now basically kung leverage at yung plan na PNMS o sparing develop a much bigger plan rather than I don't want to put words in your mouth but I mean that's what I hear from you saying you're expanding it not getting rid of it but you're expanding it to address those concerns and the new issues that we're now facing with this revenue issue.
I like the term upgrade, enhance.
Sorry, I don't mean to put words in your mouth.
I mean, that's the ultimate goal. And I think tingin la President Ramosara ang aramong preserve the best, improve the rest is appropriate, because that's really what our goal is. Kadamdayon was the beauty of democratic governments is you are free to express your opinions, share ideas, and hopefully come up with better solutions, I say. And that's and just to give you some ideas, gal ministra degal is degal solok tingin amat tari di, just to be fair, ngaria uldaso back in December matamle present tiri merkawam pegi del gabegal. Amne solution al present tiri, I say we only need 6 million to solve this problem. The minister came back and said no, it's a bigger plan than that. Magdamre nga sulil gave us the opportunity to come up with a bigger plan. And so
Quickly, so maybe Minister to address a statement to make so part of the plan, sige they'll expand the hatchery to include other bait fish. Gora concern was say currently sell hatchery kita nga malal dedicated to hatching ay kali amang kita kada hatchak kalsa ulit no. Alak alwedeng tas tamali adang ut blower ringin daka other bela. So we're expanding our hatchery. Is this going to have funding to build capacity? Alu ba kada di mo import scientists from other countries to help us?
Nakamsulo na malungil gare lea big part tial blue economy plan na capacity building. Ada kadil hatchery management ra tial 100% ocean ravelur bela. Kadam del waseng mal ngasong sa capacity atara igel lo ulma waseng dagal attractive of your minimum wage. Mga kita president mal diregal uldo ra kwase member la minimum wage symbol attractive igal lurior al sela bulur belam smedal attractor more qualified al adal mera igal lurior. So kotoklol partra daga diltal blue economy business plan ma part sel strategic plan ra ministry a capacity building ra existing al retool retrain ma diregal melarab esel adal motion ra ministry lan diregal over 50% ra staff ra ministry over 4 years old. Matirka diregal na mo close mo ra retirement malubet diregal kup mo sorry move elsewhere. So saya imol big part ra strategic plan ra ministry kwasing focus ra capacity building.
So siguro will segue minister mutuon mo ra two things. One, minimum wage. And I'm glad the Senate is holding hearings and we're moving on to that. I mean, another personal action united. I mean, there people are leaving. And we need people earning a decent living. But sel question ang gira la building our local capacity diri kal kotok cloud tutelan. Lagi daman mo dependent ra for labor laga waseng nyasui, so we just that's what we do. Te hablado sa ngira before and many times mlaria proposal la ramo wase nebo do subra blue was Singapore. They charge a fee every month for every foreign worker. So ngayon bladalya minister matul and so then mo introducing mo olbira kalula wase it's time either other bela uktiregal follow similar policies. Then for example across act that we need to fund, training programs that we need to fund, better education for our kids so that they can gain these skills needs funding. And like NCD fund, kadora sa mga nga geludodra tokol mangaral uk help atokora all go by. We need to do the same thing at atokora labor. So Minister Matun sa mga share sa proposal that pero kaya announcing it yan, di mo submitting mo all bila regular
Sila
session.
President kulum dasok ng Dimor Olbil ni halawad Saudi. Tel proposed bill mo actually ngulmo ling sa kaloring asulel Mr. Salvador ling Bekel press conference and the press nga kalgire la tukara labor. It's an action amendment to moral labor law. Ya klol part ringa mo address ay fees el dharaw. El al time at tal adal dharaw ringa dart ma ugi mo klok ratarrak. Men awal dasot mo esel gim dodol gim generator ngi at teligibul klora actual budget nga mam lo router tel office nga mam. Mang sel domes ra budget ra laboring it's really just enforcement and then dia ka programs el WIOL sa dalong nga or other bailout truly mo retrain malu tamara school and mo malay kaluryon nga kalkang kodang for example. So the idea is el wasing apora remember the dongos isel fee el modar takluk per employee per month. Eseludo the generator ngi sabi edlobal mo ultaw tagi the programs el mo ko supplement sel dollar ngi WIOA. Mong el al time nga yakme the rule dart ma about 280 el nga prep terge other be allow affected by COVID. Dim na mo umol tulomsin der tira berberi regal state el required training. Nanya siya sa dodol gimilar ya WIOA president el mlo nga tira customer service ma CPR el malasam el reskill tira upgrade that skills tira mo sabiil actually apply el mo malay galurior nga private sector. Insegal proudly said mo nga 5 to 6 nga na mura cove mam na mura bebera restaurant del other belaw giblam trainer tira also bertir for a shadowing program. The hopefully sa del bila ok mo nga niya do the generate mo clo do sa edal partner up with WIOA ma PCC sel CE continuing education at tara planner ko mama mo spare cell school of excellence magi nga niya do lo mangala ogordeo el mo malas mo rulin mo training center mo sa edal truly kamle partner sa layer sa mara BTA el ruli sel mo actually mo functioning part at tagi del transition or other training el mora private sector. Abebira talang tingin sel bile le agidale mo ol nga seur tirigel kada mo fixer sel aral tirigel domestic helpers mar caretakers mar domestic helpers mar houseboy. Agidire kulul mes agel low ul ngara regional kora salaries ertir. E malas mo kora rulil mo telgibel mo attir. Mandak dasal ngot ara bebira blu mo competitive dollar at e mo addresser semble issue ra Mr. Salvador mong agi mo propose kung sabi ela adam al makalangleng ra dalong aliw. Hindi mo niya kora luul mo rules at mo kadam karang siya kam naklon ngi ergaw Mr. Salvador mong hopefully telbila mo addresser agi other all bila sila understand the what changes what the propose under that bill. Imlani agadi mo dik di ngila present ko di small bila numbers. Nanya gerra medial net punta tela other agora under minimum wage mang aku agel deral wala ba adra ngodal bulu mar adra government mang at this time ngania 3,986 foreign workers ang arbelo kami amani pumbuto kar namrael of them ngania 2,257 el below minimum wage. Trigel total minimum wage or below at 2,257. Trigel ngara minimum wage musuk at 350 a 1,990. Ali trigel mali adra model below. Trigel below minimum wage at 267. Trigel ngara babysitting, caretaking, domestic helper, houseboy. Okay. Trigel total above minimum wage a 1,729. Ay kasi kalmosyel kami mukmes. At the government, executive branch at the adal masukra minimum wage. Sindala ding arba per se. Executive branch. At the state governments, ang nga niya trigel earning below minimum wage at 92. Trigel nga minimum wage at 60. Trigel above a minimum wage at 294. Yakora na mo sa waseng kyo. At the Borsel Tara Group, all bira kululaw, nga niya 135 employees. Itirgel below minimum wage at terung. Ngani terul ngara o ikel musukra below. I don't know why hindi ngani. Tirgel at minimum wage are 1. Yeah, above minimum wage are 126. Adabora judiciary and 66 are employees. The above minimum wage is 59. Itirgel earning minimum wage are 7. Okay.
Dailang asel ora tribal. Akora diom dos saying isn't it illegal al time mosura below minimum wage? Makora dos saying maybe they don't work the full 80 hours and they get ukti di by dira 80 mong mobilo.
That could be possible. I just
Oh,
I got
akora
data
di-
tequila. I need to verify exactly why. Then I'll share that with the media.
Oh,
Malubla part time. They could be
yeah, they
part-time.
could be part time. Akora diom dos. But
That was a big question. Makarasab il makarasab il nga minimum wage. Leading a question mortil lagi the statistics minister Mr. President tial proposal kami am sa yo say gida the increase sa minimum wage attractor other pela mutamerica lurior base rail justice of kaya di cited statistics hindi kalbato kal ada nga minimum wage. Mga domestic tigel bato kal nga minimum wage and tigel ada rangot ulpalo. Mang assume la sa tigel nga regal service industry man nga regal manual labor. Increase our minimum wage in mo help prawata.
yeah, tira malungil question. We know was a minimum wage sets the bottom. Everything was a increase in minimum wage. A trigger rogul ngarbebul adim ran morba. That's how the system works. Dekal sa ilang girang arba bra minimum wage blamu minimum wage me salary dilos issue. So if you look in the past, every time the wage are minimum wage and that adjust the salary scale of government and move everybody up. The only people dimla move up are ministers, rather will be real politicians, but everybody else moves up. So the concept behind the setting the floor, asige da mukta karing. Ako na sem to ka argument ro se hindi kalgiri la plan mara adrang od bulu. Remember, then set the minimum wage. Include the other od bulu. They're also getting a lot of other benefits that may add up more say, and you're missing out their tax. Mura SS, tax and mura income tax, and niya sel kor kaniya government. So to help provide legal service. So when you exempt them, we're losing out. Let's say mura HEF, mura SS, which right now SS is struggling, and the plan is to raise the tax ra SS. Ngare study na to, and that's coming soon. We're saying raising it to make sure the balance. So if we raise the wages up and reduce that pressure, I'm going to raise our tax SS. So these things all have to work together. And ultimately, I know concern kita lo say, well, hindi kal benefit ra kunta. We know lo say, if you raise, everybody else goes up. So you have to move with what's happening. You cannot just be stuck in time. Ano di ko tingin la Vice President. Hindi kasi dal mo di talalwalo. Singarang to ko Vice. Oh, mukhang mo ba deng do bang arakas and we need to move on. So it's time. It's been a long time. Last minimum wage at 2014. And we talked about it among President Ramasam proposing it at 2016, I think. And mo 850. 25 cents every year, getting up to 850. 4 years, nothing. Elang namamre ka 1 year. It's time. Let's move on. It's our responsibility to take care of other. So, yeah.
So quality clarification. Ito yung say, our employers ilang $150 per year. So $150 on proposal mo say mo $100 per month. I see. Ito yung over 10 times the current
1,200 a year.
1,200 a year. No 10 times anges what's the global ng sir other bela.
Okay, so which leads me to this. Yang ani sel, kung tanggalin na mention ng yang sel, hindi ka malungin la sel RPPL 9-22. Sel graduate CB vocational or tegra PCC sebela employer hire gawe increase raw to debe. I mean, mungil mora adlo si kauro mungil mora employer. Siya mga implementation ng nila lang.
Adi imol kong balil gudil kung malos PR niya PPR. Magim na malas mal mga dadu ora gal bebera hotel dire gal mo utilizer ngi ma ultra gal ngal ga dire gal no rakov ma tana to kadim na kalot ngali. Yataram na recommendation akmusel sila tapas ra PGST and dim na kad include a provision mo accommodator sa gidala mo mo ro bangil olbil. Make sure malmol.
Just putting it on the record. So the minimum wage will be across the board. No one will be left behind, like both Palawans and non-Palawans.
Yes.
Hopefully, that's an OEK decision. They have it in front of them, so we're asking them to look at it seriously.
Sila Mr. Presidente a Minister Victor Gomgoram la ugi upadur le tiale our Ocean Conference le tiale Ocean Conference ataragel area sengil mora panel la blue economy to siga solution el gere akir problems matial blam presente ngit tia ya bomol to der ngit our Ocean Conference le seguidia ngani 10% in marine reserve radula DLR time 92.8% as a pedal protected me. Stadia. Then there are enough ludodal. The severe governing segi the marine reserve. The agal sal severe the realize a benefit in more other example. Take the Lar Ocean Conference at Ramoktegan. A momisa solution aldo manganital blue economy. Take the ataramo major. Making it presentation. Tiala Ocean Conference il kirela adru lel belal kirel tia
sular agere mudlong yang YC vela la di imol blul adal la maker cell ultimate decision mlor 80% baktar mlor pase tab togra blul adal diriga gomra mora 10% bagida mla ngari experience rige dal wase mla rulli mla mo soy subra al cell mla mal aswara igel mo constrained Michael gire del gutnokla ulma bekkal blablo al sel do sadra do representing meringelertir sel di do ase protection ulmo do ase gadmora 100% management yo siger sel balance ra protection and production seguidar adam masal mo se tel do ringia adia di do se sra a resource kada make sure ko ase kada protect ra resource mong kada spending in a sustainable way. Se agora a meset el kidar ada vela sab edel other sil kada mla soy sobre al sil. Mqasim oing sab edel maral el gimer el osmir klol part tra de vela blue. Diga kida igel mongol sangsel to make it durable kada ngara adaptive management guided by good science and we get el morsel sab edel balance ra production ma protection. Siya kung naso ngungil story sab eda belal ngulo der sila blul adal wasag agim la mo sois bral sel emla mo mal aswar metegi da ku kimesal wasya adreling sab edel ku masuira travelul masasegi del lul daswa
Sila Minister Victoria tiagi de la Ocean Conference atara mga panel discussion na small scale fisheries. Belula da blo el oiti mergo monsada gal ngara a high season migele ngara sel gora planal girela belal girela small scale fisheries il gar other bela sebe men mutul mo gora small include tagi the planal
so partner seguid wasya small scale fisheries qasya kida Rebelaw kadimle ultuira reef fishery. Emlamol aswalo ase over the last many years ya ngigalam la decline. Madolmol melultuira nging hindi kalsal sa el increase ra production e maintain ser protection el 20% ra de belal blada kwaseng fully no take protected areas lang na makasangi la aul magyo mes atyal el 100% ocean management ta kwaseng Lamo gire del transition ra other from reef fishing or more outside the reef. Part of set plan ang niya polen lana tarateal mamamuro murula network ra fad. Marada sab il ngara ege fadling dire ka nang lela ala alu marada adi lo mai setel galgere en dire ka mal clol coastal mortir. Ma part tiagi del plan ma part ra plan ra ministria mla kwasei. Production ra reef blada maximize ringi kada bai dio mesra se kada magara increase ra value rang kalni gila le ara langi gila for the many years yang dire ko sisiu ya ara lalu mal lang masa kada magara lang sa ekra ara langi gila mong sel kwasing ngari ngil access ra other mga del more market reduce sel cost maybe a market tasab el pay more se partner se gidra sa hook strategy ngam el time se we they also either increase production ra reef fishery they increase ra value by the increase production ringia pelagic species kada magara mo mal mutul batol skip check ringia affordable el al time ya mga dal ringi long line adi focus ra big ay ma yellowfin el expensive if term sadra tenda la bondra bofi ang skip check tunal meng affordable el sab el address sel cook food security neither gidar other below en ania market ringi gidal ngara al sel ablu ma egel bebira pelagic species el wahu ma ay ma so saya agora part tial development tial blue economy lo mesra tial offshore fishery dire kan include el small scale artisanal fishing
Sula Ministerio. Sula Mr. Presidente, normal interesting tial presentation ng gumile, tiagi diawal, salmal, major ng moktigar tial, our ocean conference ng mga ngirablo bela.
I see.
Mr. Presidente, mereka sulela, Minister Matul, wamlamu laurel kiria other bela, logi waigal amendment la, musabak kaltiar other laurel. And then sa dalon ngitenim sel 9-21, se di mo skills di mo tirgel nga engineering nga construction ma refrigeration di ngungil skumen sebele regamen del mor olbi involve include ra computer skills namop to karada sebele lo space de la mergo increase out do lo give sel incentives and the salary to it minimum wage len tirgel kora olngite presidente ng betogel Gombalir belar elang amal suffer ingam tilo gyutel sio tel kentila economy toga gagi the proposal increase tax ma minimum wage hindi ngora dirga ka consider tax incentives sa margal sio pa gora diolnit masum mo sabele direct consider ngira se la discussion ng milo bentre other will be raglola
Mga sa komptora minimum wage, so madida amendara 9-21. Oh?
Olen sel incentive len. Dahil nga nga niyam gagrel siyobay, o ay nga ram gagrel siyobay.
Okay.
Di regal mal mo hurt nga ma'am. At kaya gilin minimum wage. In fact, nga ma'am umdodra, nga umdodra adon, gobyanda na minimum wage. Hindi selwa mo nga sara, ay kaya gilin minimum wage, ang giramal mo increase sa salary. Usual time yung mama pay tax. Ya government kampita siya ba kama. Ngagi pay tax lum do radal mo kampita kama. Adumay yun ito kung nasibol sabi nga niya ay incentive ra gagidal. Taxes yung miya so mi will implement. Lendiregal mo help ra. Deselo mi sere legal legislation na di mo ra maklol kumbali. Idi ka mo ra am gegrel kumbali. El bill, other bill, almost el bill, di tilo siya pa.
So, in fact, self proposal tax, mo, bod implementary, ako trungi na magkakaret siya ba. Bible tok ra mo lokon. Kaya, mang Ako daw sa close to trela both understand ra tial basic tax reform el blood boring ilang le eliminate agad tukol tax ma magigare by tax maklo. So I know the namola and we need to educate people properly. Agad ang other media that we need to help people understand. Minimum wage is not a tax. I say minimum wage help ra munsi el tekra dran akle. I understand the concern around. Let's go to the fact. We raised the minimum wage before. I said him na close ang migrant shop. If anything, it helped them. In fact, there's a winner, a Nobel Economics Prize at Tiam Lamarigara. That was the study that they did, was on minimum wage and how wages are there. Sell idea ra other business all complain lo say and raise our minimum wage and mo migrant shoba is not a true fact. In fact, it's the opposite. People need to be able to take care of other clear and sell ball earn a decent salary number extra money lola and spend mutia it builds back. So I think the your interpretation understanding mungila the helper other blue mo understand. And I know sometimes kada blow al-mudak. Sa kada de malmol maldal al-walo. I think it's time that we get all the information together. Blue ram ram na kasing mo $15. That's what they're working toward. Egida wase 350 is acceptable, little belang. I mean, I think in namo time. Abang kare misreklay. I know amudulong asola di dolmol maldal al-walo, but I think I'm not more time.
Minister Maya, sort of in line with that, it's a different perspective. Yes, I really think it was malungil lang sa minimum wage because a lot of our services are specialized training and diesel under I think just to rephrase what he's saying, ako la incentives sila per ma'am train out ma'am. I mean speaking from experience ako students leng meringa nga kasmi guys get specialized. I cannot afford to get trained the lungil leng yes I have to pay them a lot of money. But I'm willing to train other thing. I need the incentives or help train. I want to pay them enough, but they don't have the skills to suffice. I can provide. And maybe some WIA, one example, a Malungit program, see more investments into those kind of programs to train and get our kids up to par so we can pay them the right wages, the good wages.
Mansulang tila ko tulong il point. Actually first thing nga sel lulukon niya mutulang masada sel RPPL. Simna niya amendment Senator Clark actually the amendment mo include the IT, tourism, hospitality. So it's actually included already. So akpay so kal mo expand rin bol include a role degree. Why are we limiting ourselves to just the gig? Mga other role to raskura PCC mutingin ma certificate training participate incentive. Ongerong nga nga daw actually adura ili lo mga WOA. So what tigita teletay gimo actually we're meeting today to discuss those programs. Malsugo mga amokte WOA o nga private sector develop lagi skill sets. Nga funding gimo labre lang mang akpayol ngi terka mo proposal kan may alwasing minimum at 10 alab. And sabi CE continuing education of PCC provide a facility. We need expert. It's amal haraw ngi. Mabas ka proposal ko wasing nganyar tin la damam. And mamusubur tegi dal skill and gagi data trainer at tegi da cost ngi. And sab ama MHRCT di lo banglado will create a segila program. Amok te grada WIA at train or other mod sobiil so use for private sector. And that's exactly the kind of programs we're going to do. Mums amlo ng sir kami. Sir adem nungul mera klugo kedo mul.
The the other sell proposed the al-Musadrin $100 or $1,200 a year. A clore say a year more on the job training. Miguel show by if Muangal Bela me summer training or apprentice. Ingira lang program government subsidize half salary or full salary for 6 months and then half and then eventually gas take over that should be the goal. Gida so the employer tigal 200 madaringil los pe aurora al time. Insomma ora station ra kasi mem mola artirigin pertin mol selbudu mumla moria skill but he needs money to continue the program.
El all time prep agi mola small transition ngin morse hopefully at the end of prep ok mong pastial bill agi ludo dagi mola bal let's say logora station ra mo agi maska terul ad agi harar till 6 months trainer tir nga sel mo ma ko pick up tir magi dagel incentives
Sa help pamigrant show ba.
Sula Mr. President, ngam la hayra telon mala, itebe mamudu e murio ra government.
mong siya minimum wage
Almost
talak
three ra higher salary.
Ida tinawag nila ka. So mo isa gita pertin 6 months free labor mo mure ka todo mo government kan mo tumlan arbet.
Tamre mas kitire kumayat.
Di ang ngil mal.
medic talia last sige the labor bill president adiregal neklong era adra shobay ra expediency ra processing ra pabilingiw Kada diregal mo meseringi mo kada makarangi with tigidal feel bom hararangi agi make sure ens emal mo adamel timely emred proposal tangala within 10 days 10 working days business days ens emal mo adam provided agim na the reason for that the president agim la mesernit mga ramos el days agim mo mesernit mumle waisel ang dim naka internet dim naka social media mangira the literally the post job vacancy announcement post office Michael Shobay it was on paper along with social media Michael media groups and other advertise emre other sigar other below al ngaringia amit agigidal qualifications sula
Mr. President, mula sulela, Mr. at matule. Mula apply mera radrango del blue em no sabil mere.
Oh, that's good.
Pagumda se akora di umrak na sintegi del process blal duro ngi telam la streamline ngi man. Hindi mo yor tir explain ngi mara public. Lanya mo mere da.
medic so these
Giren mo one day. Daksam sa karam mo tal 10 days. Hindi. Hala do urol girel se. Girel sel tu girel di sige del time to respond hindi.
so olbi la mo meserngi
Yeah, but we have to have time and verify. But I think 10 days is a huge improvement over where we are now. Hopefully, Minister na mada kaya nga ratap rapal ngalite uksi dingar tiamas and verbab ma. Kita gira eliminate mo.
sequential of mal process
Kita gira make sure. Tapos sula umru.
Mr. President, so next week Palau is hosting a very important event. So how's the preparation? Will there be additional stricter protocols on about COVID-19 because there will be guests? How many are hundreds of guests are you expecting? And then security arrangements because there will be a high level guests coming.
So, security I'll give to Minister of Justice and I'll have Minister of Health. That's the health issues come.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Overall preparation.
With regards to participants of our oceans, well, first of all, the directive, MHS Directive 7-22 is still in effect. So we still will require full vaccination and proof of negative test results upon entry for our oceans participants. Most of them will not be here beyond 4 days. So their outbound test will count as their test here on island. So we're not going to test anybody. They'll be treated just like passengers coming off. And the fact that they're attending this conference as a group, essentially they're like a group setting. So there's no restriction of movement unless they really have to go elsewhere that's outside of the agenda of the conference. So really, there's really no other modifications to what we're requiring of them in terms of COVID. But of course, with the sessions, any indoor gathering over 50 people will require masking and so forth. So that will be still implemented. So no major changes to our existing protocols.
Okay, security.
Maluin tutan marbekladorogui. I just met with Director Agon, ngegi the Ongara Security earlier afternoon, ngi my chiefs, and everything's planned on schedule. As you may know, we had a dry run this morning with the convoy. There's going to be another one in the afternoon, Kuluhuk. So they're all ready. I want to also tirigal edel was a special tactical team because of the heightened level of security. And a special tactical team made up of local enforcement officers. Al tirigal wayad kura mangil dahil our Oceans Conference yung madingit mulwasang heightened security requirements. So we're all set. Everything is going as planned. Mga bal suakal mutal mo makatakli segi di mle proclamation of president mle proclaim the year of ensuring security and safety Republic Arbelos. Thank you.
Sula Vice. Sula Minister Herde Hala the Bere Uk Minister Agriculture, Fisheries and Environment will look update the overall conference ma preparation.
Sula President di provide ora di quick update kada nam sa tele traffic mo muangrara gel April 13 and 14 Minister of Education amla announce la sa school o close ra sel orion may rai babal bara April 13 and 14 April 15 school vela ro mo close. There's a reason why so niya mo smodik mo singa ulmo why say gidia di conference expect ra ngara with the dartal ngania 80 البلون ملا register مangara 280 تيجي لوسن non-state actor اللي intergovernmental organization ma foundations ma private individuals ma non-governmental organizations ملا register اللي attend the conference say 13 and 14 the prior to 13 and 14 ang aniya igel was pre-conference events. First morning April 11 mentioning was in Pacific Island Blue Economy Roundtable Blue Belaw Manipon Foundation na amoko hostingin moktega masaudara post-pandemic recovery ma Blue Economy ma regional cooperation ra Blue Economy ma conservation. Siya mo happen ra 10 to 3 p.m. ra April 11 ra amayong Cultural Center. April 12 ang area Small Island Developing State Global Business Network Forum. Tiyang meeting sa UN High Commissioner for Landlocked and Small Island States host ringi. Tiyang loro ringi ra bekal belu. Because ang duk lo host ra Ocean Conference tulungi tala siya President Whips ma sige the visible co-hoster cell conference. Se moringi ra 8 talmo wal klora April 12 President Whips ma angele special envoy for climate ra Flora Miguel el Chan Kerry amo opener sige del Small Island Developing State event. Sel April 13 say la conference ngania welcome ceremony la tutaw and then Selvol Mrexel welcome ceremony conference officially ngumuul ngania gel trill panel and morsel April 13 sel first panel climate change second panel sustainable blue economy and then sustainable fisheries. Sel tautra ngara 9 doril mo ngara 5:20 5 p.m. ako 5:20 mo 6:20 ngani gel side events. Sel main event ngara tial Palaw National Gym. Ang ulo ma traffic avoid route la se morning traffic ra adal maral across ra el mera Palaw community galet sel ngani gel doseng side events. Ngani 11 el side event concurrent side events el mo happen ra campus ra PCC ngara gel 6 thematic areas ngani climate change, sustainable blue economy, sustainable fisheries, marine protected areas, maritime security, marine pollution. الآن 7th Our Ocean Conference ملوت الجيب الموضوع اللي ملورونغو للبلال واسين نجيريد الانتجريتر youth ay قال ملا ممريغ ال 6th Ocean Conference يابلون غانيا youth forum ال separate Ocean Conference كدلو مرال واسين ترغال youth يا future بلو الأذ من ذي قال قوقنا ترى الدذو إلو لابا الدسول المترار leaders ما private sector نجيري البارتر ترى الدذو ما طبيل در سيجي النتورك من سيجي من موري سيل موري you will participate as a panelist marmo the attender تيال إيجال plenary session هذا رجال ترى ملون درتيان فلور بلا وقت ال small island developing state المو host 7th Ocean Conference ما فلور بلا ما مريجلا ملو أذو واسنغوني لا ليا ترى بس البانل ال the indigenous panel الوق مساعدة يجيل بتقول لمسوبرا conservation ملا أوتيل واسنغ سل سمت indigenous people rather يجيل بلو أوبا مدال أمراء راتورا conservation and بلو sustainable make sure يجيل benefit سامورا راث كده غلطات اللي غدا غرا بلواد دي غانيا بيبيرا بلو rather غانيا ذا other self بلو يتيريا decision makers يجيل بلو وكذا دري المال غلطات لو سيغدا غرا بلواد يجيد يا هذه سايد الجيل لا بلواد غانيا بلو الأذ الوقت على وسيلن قوق ملا موضوع غرا ملسواد الامفاسايز السيجيد بس indigenous leadership in ocean conservation and management سيجيد البانل لامورينيرا سيجيد الابريل 13 April 14 en repeatra April 13 en dinguk mogaro sa side event tamoringira tutau and then 8 till 9 itoril mo 9 dori at 10 am yung amula el plenary panel and first ang marine protected areas and then maritime security and then marine pollution and then angara for dori ang yamoring closing ceremony المونغا فابتوري angara 6 story moringa closing reception and moringa Palau International Coral Center. Tel conference matu access ra igel sel doseng Ocean Village sa ategi del Palau National Gymnasium although EK ma PCC campus engirem low bats. So if you're not invited they are mo bats and also access ra سيجيد الأوشن فيلج لسكيورتي أولوتاو غانيا 50 أدر بلال بود إنفايتر تير المبارتر سيل ديليجيشن بلال مرسل conference اللي include leadership أدر أمغي أدر ذيل our youth مرثي أدر أبلو تيجل أدر أبلو تيابول لايف ستريم ريمس أمل دينا أبلو ميو مسرني يسمو غرا ذا قد تبيرغاو يسمو أمل غر أورنس رأل دادو es el PCC cafeteria se llama open el mora public el sabilar adal morse o mes orang sertial el dadu ngania credential for media I'm not sure kung ngania la ma credential sa mil of email mo cover Ocean Conference sel April 15 and then ngania Rock Island tour el boding titrigel guk no sub il diriga kay motor الباب الغوك مسايل لو هيلو ريلا بلو بلا تو conservation ما ديري legal غوك impact را climate change المورا coastal erosion را الباب ما تغرى غو ميل ديري دوس را الباب سي غورا الرغللا سي جيد الويك تي على غوت crowd whether realizing in 2 years since ra close semi close border again because of pandemic modeling it close Klayng se makaloreng rablu la traffic mal motitor mal motor adal lo maisra el selavlu edo otise lungil hospitality gida adal velal mora okyar gidel merse gidel time.
Maybe we just need to address there's Ngoga el Blue Ame ما 260
60
الكاغروس الدبير بلولا NGOs mga may. So kodora di mas may idea tial el sel tial hall adi elon meldak telaba sin ngaran sel. Tatwa sulu bela ngila 50. Lingal lengira del accommodator trigagi del botol sel del may. Mang that's why ngari live stream masel accommodation ngida PC. Tuta amra telaga lukti mura gym mesa urun marael خصوصا مليس الفرست الايركرافت رول تغايل الايكويبمنت متملا started set up was a closed screen بولو رأي ما lights and all of that's going in. If you go there and direct maria real other setup lo kira la tokora security mong direct 24/7. So preparations are underway and most importantly kadol tokora other may let's be welcoming alsum ngari maori rabli de tokora gutmok already clean up and let's keep ourselves presentable. Sulang
Ako di follow up mo lagi del mga abablo. Nalagyan ko ra mo services services are closed. Okay man.
School.
Hindi ka din school. Nangyari sila other mula hospital. Tumala na kaya dili tumalik system nili. Again, close to services. I mean, what services are going to be available?
No.
For the other blue magel diak mangral ko na ngayel sibil mo ngi magel ko na mo inconveniences at til will expect. I mean, I know the mga mas other name mang lang mo rin bibila to kana po inconvenience ni si adul ka din update tayo idul ka mo.
There's only one modification al direli ese to kara school. Kudulingit ta school gero gul basa bodospe. Ma igel school ospe abas ma igel school ngar orior especially because of the traffic and bring tira conduct a school for a year the block club say Wednesday Thursday etangara online school which ngi nagdam na practicing na covid mo na umuduri digel rest services ra government adi mo ka change of course the traffic a problem kada sige da hindi hospital ma bla police they're all open Teka close.
Okay, Minister kamsula ra information ra our ocean. Kita agar bera dire kal swadal to isa tablul ad baliwek. Silbri oy gayit tokoy kada sa barya ring tokoy leng swadal wasay. Taang ame. Akmadangel waseng ang arang yar delegation sa Rapid Kalbalu nga area head of state may hindi ka ngay kami sila kal information makora big name Hollywood star some international celebrity amer belaw ang siya ko ti madadul kinel say
di ko tungalil la mlaniya head of state ra Pacific kora mle register mle sera القتل الجيل المورينا في فبراير تم register كمتمي within the last several days كملا ما تدخل قسين وفلا مدار سبيل الميلين مانيا غوك كوفيد رافلورير مانيا غوك كيل المورا سيكا ميديكال اتنشن ومدار سبيل المي هذه تال تضغلي الألمية President Panuelo Federated States of Micronesia. As far as celebrities, agora Jason Momoa agora mlo register el me ngagi del last el gobierno to aseng adigal se el mem dicendo na video message ma se ago kora dimlo aquí da chico staffer agora mal mo quitar gol se agora lo ver como ding lista mal gamata dirga katem to register سبق الموض ذي فلايت سكتشولر تير مارينا ملوذا سبقير البوغا فلايت ملوذا سبق المي بريزيدنت ملا اسكرا يونايتد الاوبن اديشنال فلايتس دي دي غودل موسيرا الاوبن تريلوت البوغ اورن ديا من دي كده اكسبكترا كلول كراود as far as the whole participant list دريغا خسال مال مسام غودنيل خواسين تمال وات اميل دي expect trackload delegation ram regal let help production manisel gok delegation tir el mel ara conference ma blura regal al amal batoga adal podestrir involved at the conference.
Sige, madrigal 50. Oh.
Ito 50 plus ra tirigel kuk 70 adal ngara tel production ra conference mong tamal botokol adal both adra government tirigel kuk private contractors ra government ra mrigel los per tir ra production ra tel conference.
Di qui presidente. Ada itan tela ludo dal asab edlo mesengil me metengra blur belor ti ay kidal maral mil clo event.
I mean, I can say this. PPR fully booked. Gimnodur ungelet sukaharar eling wasing a quoting wasing kadana mo mesra opening erbelaw. So they're very happy about this. Cove ang anir adarngi Central Hotel, Desegel,
PRR.
PRR, magidale Penthouse, pagil mgigil hotel mawaringi, Malmut ragidale Libu Street. So we're looking at a lot of hotel rooms. Arogol rental cars, akum da sumindinigal out. Government na namang song samlil, magim na musika amlayan mo nga sew. So, klolo impact niya, we can actually calculate that later on.
We have multiple meetings going on. Some of them are staying here like 4 or 5 days. Mungmal, mungil opportunity merigit. We have flights coming in almost every day next week. I think it's every day. So trasarude and develop a flight all week. Aradram regela mal chori lo isigi dro se selu klongo itril gira production ma igel ukloru at 10.5 million. They're the biggest donor, but they say lo ngita karim kada mrenga sulir and mrenga sula secretary special envoy Keril el May and msel support aradram regel mertel conference. Of course kada mrenga sula blura Taiwan para ngul sutrir ma blura Shabal, especially Nippon Foundation. Michael Batokol Bloom the help the pull off for Tel Conference. The total of those other tira is about 1,000 people. So adi mo 1,000 times 1,000 minister that's 1 million. So that's a trigal I get long trigal. That's just
So kambes se sel goramom oitra al selvelam detail ocean conference ang ngel dasing voluntary commitment siya goraman lemoktega tel conference sa blumul kasing government ma private sector amot pag emru la voluntary commitment tel girela usab tial tabela blulat all modo kasing ocean conference the oceans kado misringil imol ngar alela arbek other rogoy. To date, kada masadara igel commitment mlamo 12 billion. Kada ma expect kasi ngariya may on the floor at announce of SL commitment masesab el muklo. Maku color gidar ada vela kasi kadol trar tagid el economy business plan ergid. Dire kadol trar effort ergid el reach 100% renewable energy. Kadol trar al doswed el girela food resilient palaw. Kadam sabay dalo siya igal partners sa ilme commit lolong siya rigid over the next let's say 5 to 10 years kasi sabay gora daita kadwa at least ngara that 100 to 200 commitment ra ay gigid million bulul adame so kasi sabil commit lolong siya rigid ay gigid el cook area say ay gigid ado sing badeng lawdo del me so isabra al sela government but ngigay del assistant al sabil me kwasing infrastructure al help gidel build ngal technical assistant al sabil ko ngosir gid sea direct gol gid ar other beral kwasing plol lomra la may ngara igel kuk sabil gida orelo ventril gamit lo ngosir gid ra igel kuk mo el bangledra kuk kirela oceans ma renewable energy ma climate.
Mr. Presidente, te voy a molestar. Se domesa gale international news setele. Mamadara ya Ukraine ngaring selbeluma. Stelo production ablura sinama. Interest rate la Federal Reserve na increasing. Te expect sa next 3 years malmo kita gana mirablula. audiutial Ocean Conference belang rang merula governmental goramo malasamal el builder for food security rablur belang mal di morar other belang ngarai gel mo sebela governmental gut mokl el mom sebakra other belang malubeta diversify aurelit ma production tirel kora ome ergidra nexel 3 years al sum mablul ada continue wise.
So I think a blue economy business plan are one part of it. Maybe a minister will share a yellow Torah agriculture. But Torah partners either Shabala on a sell slaughterhouse or other time on a Torah Mal Mababi. And then anyway, Kabong minister ako nama.
Tam sulang president tam sulang mudulora malungilgir. Sel malmen el moktegara Selvision ra ministry ko sa increase local healthy affordable and nutritious food el girir other below. Se edel di produce malbotol gal di sel dobra mass production and dagal sal healthy. Awul ma effort ra ministry ora soror kasing girir el intentional ra kasing ngaral threat el badangan la galla dom goror below lungir gida other below. Kada belol wasea babia unhealthy di ulama ministry focus ra tora livestock kada waseng tirgel veterinarian lorel bangeda waseng gel babil dogulir belan mangan gel commercial feed gida producer ngin esar fat content ringia about half rangel babil doguruli lo baulangan lo marangi get telgibel expensive but it's a bit healthier to us. Ngirengel babil import ringil and dagalo spe abtogol gamigal sel el morengel babi. Kado mesra wa mal madabar coming kasi ay maybe talbtogol gidar other bela swadal ma coming dingania kuk market ra coming el morar other angod bulul ngar bela. Siya direk dengan lo menir kuaseng kata makara of course ngarinya mle effort sera gukol presidenta chanson turibiyong mlo mela kami ngara huriping kata mal mlo big kuaseng kami ngal mebol rom wild yang tomelia belu siya concern maul mo kuaseng gire del bilda capacity rigid mo other affairs mal me kada control armed dia kada me ermed medilingil kong forest ra wild about harvest ruri leng tomelia belu mga livestock ma tokora shares agi malasamal el sena 10 years ebla se demla most of the triple la production rigid compared to el all time dagal beot lorior mering ospe capacity legi tel diregal di lomu el masad la se ay kada build de tangara morgi gagi da minister matu el diregal kwasengaria atrigel gigrel other belal de los siga obror martel prep program kada makara align atrigel mora gigi del gora areas of need ma areas of opportunities sabe del gote kada crora mindset rigid el wase aiga ngil mergid it's a business opportunity sabe del ngari ya kada mesra togora shares mo ngel waseng trigel lowest type program ngari na bro belo la mogire de lo mesir como se it's an opportunity mergaw opportunity help build the nation building rigidra blue bela le food secure belu amcc el belu mon segi de agora vision ra ministry ese de also el de ministry gut maklileng kado sperar adra belu adra search mar adra ngedel gut maklisi the ministry sub el ding ma resources el may bevla table de lagar adel dolong certiren daga sab edgot maklisa gida ma odol ngi trawngil klang sera arbek adal wase bodo mesa togora sers ma togor magid el dirigal ta'al el mergid
Dirigan mal koda gal togora sers ma omiyet di sogala der wase eli igadam la sana sel 11-19 sel bill ra senate 11-8 emlo sana RPP 11-19 sesen mo create sel private equity bank ra blur bela So sekan tinir telurera del waseng uk develop pagir uk esel teletar umngarger logi wa uk financial industry. Of course a digital version sim namul mna sura adrobi uk nagongin asel otaw da Minister of Finance uk mutel el builder sel industry uk kulbol telela abesel urior ma abesel teletar umngarger abelur bela man oy gida malmol mal losiga ger rogul teal دي كده عشان most important يجي دخل برتم بالوقت كده طريقة الململ موضوع أمريكان الطريقة قلت كرول بارتنر جيد of course إن برا لا دول غير لا تورا كمباكت إذا نعمل ستمنا appoint رجال بس special envoy for climate negotiations Mr. Yun من مولا ورور غير say and we have to talk to them about the challenges كده بس مقرأ encourage investment from Rigel mau treta kita sa del build up on dirang ay sel ko da sura gira la stable coin ma tiger partner kita la magala Ripple ay they're all ongoing mang sulang na kanim yeah adi ager malungilam lamok medal 2 hours blow lang ka blow lang sa tegi dele te ukteme del mega so es ya agora question time sel dangara gele parliament mga debate mga discussion blow de dangara session mga de gatere del will debate mal wasmi anuk sel ko bang kami dangara debate musulang otroleng di sodal muntial teal como será Patrick Knight lo bangedre lang gel blow lo banged Mr. Palas uk namo retire gadamre gasuler gamangal temel ngia ukul ngo sergit I wish him the best retirement ringi and the gada mo misri and I wish him the best in the years to come deregal mal suatu hotel tal lol kola dem skami hartam ukirgal magawil to koy mga hotel bre gasuler gira to korwa hausisak lama aigal tokol program our the swal aigal tokol ngil program kami di tara agad organizing tara hotel important el program set program ra Mr. Gasole ra beklerul sandero maklat kargi dara aigal ngiam cloud tutorial mergi dara adar belau agar churgi ma tinga da ngiam cloud tutorial toy ma iso kan organize ra aigal effort ga Mr. Gasole logista kargi dara aigal clip bela orgi dara ngia أقول قبل الطغوبات اللي يأكل بلور أبلو الأدم سولان ذي رغل 10 million views congratulations ذي رغل كذا صادر ذي رغل متتال يمرنا صورتي وقدر قبل ترتيرها بالأول لو نسير كده رابع كالسيلز يو الطغوبات سيلز ترتير السيلز من special happy birthday الاسترال السيلز هذه تا 8 يلا ملون السيلز lorwadi mon mowan elang 8 ale boko iwang clear Loretta Philip ngara ministry ga Ministry of Health and Human Services Colin Mimong ngara ministry ra obia diregal Evelyn Adalbay ngara Ministry of Education Minister Jenkins ma Thelma Hindenburg diregal ngara Ministry of Health and Human Services Lali Kluk Leitor yes dari congratulate ringi namna obes leitor ablu raira emla tanjo biring ran sils ngara Ministry of Health and Human Services pira kanai ngara EQPB Linda Pedro ngara Palau Access Unit I'm sorry Lindsay Pedro ngara Palau Law Access Unit ma Uriah Stefanus ngara Ministry of Health and Human Services mang congratulate tertir wish them a very happy birthday adios na maklan tanga tertir gida da dolmol mal kaya sew gida mal mrenga solar petitioners mar media mar bekla avel el comment de se actung yala qabelmente gid kada ma uldas wal me o sigue ser gotun ira al el tmak gut makla bal wad el mongil mang malwaise adios na maklan tanga tara gida na maklan tara bal wad amal misulang ma next week ada kado press conference kada ngar oceans ego dok na mo bertiala every 2 weeks following week ada route me ada do amal misulang
Okay, katama raw labong ra press conference sa manlo masawlo reng sa masertial program. Ma may igang mangot mo klab